God Almighty. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. I'm your host, Law Smith. We are doing this from the Toco Works office in an oddly kind of nice, not ball sweaty weather day in Ybor City. Sitting here, if you're watching on the Mevo camera on our Facebook page, we're still trying to get the kinks going with that. Not the band, but a lot of the mistakes we're doing with the audio. Sitting to my right is Mr. Hector from 208 Monkeys.
What's going on, everybody?
How do I say your last name?
Velez, not Velez.
Velez. I'm gonna pump you up a little bit higher than me because you're a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah.
And then back on the show also is I'd like to call Daniel Radical Cliff Dan Whalen. It's not a name that's going to stick, but let him hear you.
Yeah, that was the first time you tried that going over it. It almost landed.
I did it. It looks better in text.
It looked great in text, actually. I had to read it twice.
It's a solid pun. Well, he's Radcliffe. He's already the Radcliffe, man.
Right, but there's no... I don't resemble him in the least.
All right. Well, look, here's the deal. June 7th, we're doing a live Sweat Equity podcast, so I hope we figure out this Mevo issue by then. I'm going to have some experts on. I'm going to promote it. I've got power business attorney to the stars, Mr. Stephen Fantetti of Fantetti Legal, a good buddy of mine. He also hosts the Triple Option podcast with me. And then we've got Nick Snap of Make It Snappy, a podcast about productivity and operations. He's a big Six Sigma guy. He hates duplicative task work, so I love him. And then another friend of the program we're having on. It's going to be a full house, but you'll be able to ask questions live, which is what I think is kind of the coolest about doing this Mevo stuff, is ClassicLiz.com. Liz Newman, my buddy, who's written for Huffington Post, for Thrillist, for a bunch of things. She's a very witty writer, and we're going to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary at Tocobaga Consulting in June, and I am very excited about that. We're going to do a brunch, I think, on my birthday, June 25th.
Do you brunch?
Look how white I am. Of course I brunch. I brunch so hard. I'll get in there. I want chicken and waffles with syrup all over that. Fried chicken on top of a waffle. I want some cantaloupe on the side. I want a Bloody Mary, even though I don't really like them, but at brunch, I will make an exception.
I've never brunched.
What?
I've never brunched.
You've never brunched.
No.
Okay, let's get into that, because that's topic number
You live
one.
in Tampa and you don't brunch.
You live in the United States and you don't brunch.
Yeah, I've never brunched. Ever.
We got to get you right up into that.
You know what it is? Because I
There
got
it
a
is.
pointy thing that's just like
That's fine.
jabbing me.
Oh, well, you can
hold on.
move stuff around.
Let me do this. Let me do
all right,
this.
look.
Now, hey, I just got sexy with the mic. There we go.
Brunch is the excuse for getting drunk on a Sunday morning, right? Dan, you know. No? You don't know?
I'm just kidding. Of course I know.
I like the non-answer, the non-verbal answer of shrugging shoulders. I don't know.
He's like, I got a
your
Mevo now.
your
People can
opportunity
see
to
me.
redeem yourself from the night before.
Look, yeah, brunch is great. It's an excuse to get drunk. In the football season, it's even better because then you drink a lot on Saturday.
You
for
glide
football.
right into that noon kickoff.
You goes right in. You've got an excuse for being a little haggard, and then you pick it right back up, man. Look, you can get drunk. No one's going to look at you wrong. How about this? If we were drinking right now on a Thursday at 2 o'clock, we'd be like
Losers.
yeah, we'd be laughed at. We'd be like, God, those guys can't get their shit together. But Sunday at 2 o'clock, you've had your third, fourth kind of cocktail.
10th.
You're doing Sunday right.
So your Sunday morning, you're saying you eat breakfast, lunch, and drinking at the same time.
Yeah, so you probably start about 11. I'd say is a good time. It's not lunch. It's not dinner. It's not breakfast. It's a lot of those. It's a lot of stuff going on at once. And then you basically you can drink whatever you want. I can't believe I have to explain brunch. I feel like
it sounds awesome. Now I feel like a loser because
you can eat breakfast. You can eat lunch. It doesn't matter. No one's gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, see, it sounds like heaven.
Well, you're from España, so they have that every day, right?
Yeah, but it's just growing up here. I guess I've just never.
Times are probably
brunched.
off because they dinner at what, like 2 a.m. in Spain?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you take a nap in the middle of the day because you brunch so hard every day.
I think Americans just party much harder, and the brunch has become a ritual for you guys.
I think it's just we're trying to figure out reasons to drink in America when you don't really need to. My case in point's kind of like you can get booze at like Chuck E. Cheese. You can get beer at Chuck E. Cheese. Like you never used to have that. I think you can like everything's just family fun stuff is like, hey, well, there's a beer garden over here. Why don't you just, dads will get involved now. Dads will take kids to Busch Gardens or the zoo or any of that stuff. So anyway, I can't believe I have to explain brunch. We're going to brunch so hard. June 25th. I turn the year of our Lord 33, and it'll be a good time. Man, now I'm all sweaty thinking about you brunching for your first time
podcast
on Sweatequity. And all right, here's some app stuff. I was answering some questions on my Facebook page. When people ask stuff like, oh, do y'all do this? When people were like, I'm trying to figure out a way to do X, Y, and Z, or I'm so pissed at my cable company, I will answer like they're asking a question because they're bitching about something. We all bitch about stuff. But I will like try to help out if I can, if I know it. Maybe that's me being a blowhard. Maybe that's me trying to actually help them in an altruistic way. But like, so I had someone, a friend of ours that posted like cables out. There's an oligopoly on airlines, on cell phones, cable companies, internet providers. So to me, I feel like it's part of my American duty to try to help out. How do we get around that? So I was saying, if you are still doing cable, I get it. I get it for sports. Like, it's kind of tough you can't do it a la carte yet. But if you don't care about sports, pretty much, then you can do this. You can get Sling TV for like $40, not a sponsor, not an ad on this show. You can get Sling TV for like $30 and get like packages you want for the cable you want. You just want ESPN, you just need the highlights and a couple of basketball games and whatnot. The Sunday night baseball, that's all you need. You don't need all the extra stuff that you have to get with the cable companies.
Can you record with a Sling?
Yeah. Right over there is the Sling box. I mean, it looks like the cable box is like cooler cousin because it's all designed.
It's like the melted clock.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I was thinking.
It looks like Salvador Dali made a cable box, but yeah, you can record on that. The cool thing about that, and the reason I got in the office, is because the Sling TV, when we had the NFL package in here, you can sling it to your phone anywhere. So I could be on the road and I could ping any Tampa Bay Buccaneers game I wanted.
Nice.
If I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or something like that. So it was one of those things where Sling TV's awesome. Everybody our age knows about Apple TV. Hulu is a great supplement if you got to get some entertainment kind of TV. CISO, all these things. What do y'all do? What's your primary package? Any of that? Do y'all pay for cable? Is it done?
Amazon. I steal Damien's Amazon, my business partners. So I pretty much use Amazon a lot and Netflix. I think everyone uses Netflix. So
I just did it with the smart TV we have in here. I hooked up. We've had these 4K TVs for like a year and a half, and I just set up like the Amazon button that's on the remote, and I forgot Amazon has so much to choose from that I completely just forgot about because Amazon and Apple hate each other for whatever reason on the TV stuff. Like on Amazon, you can't buy an Apple TV. Have you looked at that up?
No.
You can't go buy like an Apple TV because Amazon's in that market.
Competitor.
You go on Apple TV, you can't access Amazon.
But does it have the Amazon button?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
damn.
So on the Vizio TV, it's got the button.
It's like the Bloods and the Crips.
I know, it's crazy, and I'm gonna take Apple. You know why? CEO's an Auburn guy. All right, so Dan, what are you doing? Pornhub? Just that it? Is that it?
We've got the DirecTV for sports, which is pretty much the only time that
DirecTV.
The only time that the TV is on is if sports are on or reluctantly to speak wrestling.
What's that?
Don't worry about it. But also, No, I've got one of those smart TVs in my room, so it's got all the little apps and stuff on there, so you don't have to pay for anything. So it's got like TED Talks and History Channel and like that kind of stuff that I like to unwind with.
Way to class it up.
Yeah, gotta, obviously I gotta come
You're
back
like
from you burying me almost immediately.
You're like Harvard dissertations.
It's got the Harvard Business Journal on there.
Yeah. I like HBR.
You can literally watch professors' lesson plans carried out.
Yeah, you can watch this for free, right?
You can watch this for free, yeah.
You're a Renaissance man. Doesn't mean you can't be well versed.
Obviously,
yeah.
You want to put your best foot forward, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, I don't know about your foot fetish stuff, but it is. Dan doesn't like the jokes. I'm throwing out.
Hey.
I'm throwing out heat. I think it's because you got the company shirt on. That's why.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. All right, but you were on the podcast not too long ago, and you put it out there that you're going to start your own podcast.
Correct.
Where are we at with that?
We are in the finishing touches stage, and thus we're looking to kick it off here in June because May ended up being a little bit busier than I anticipated, which is good, which is great. However, just need to prioritize, and so we will be getting that great actionable content out to the masses here in the upcoming, just in time for summer, just in time to avoid working on the dad bod of Exhibit A over here.
Oh God!
Forget the gym. Turn on your iPhones and tune into the have yet to be named podcast where we're going to discuss some critical things to further your leadership and business skills.
Did you just have a stroke? What? All right. What was all that?
Huh?
What?
It was compartmentalized version.
Okay. All
You're
right.
too busy planning your next joke.
Well, here, so when's it going to start? We got to put a date to it. Or otherwise,
What's it about? I mean, what's it going to be about? This is my first time.
What are
hearing about
goals without dates, right?
Right.
They're nothing.
Smart goals, right?
Yeah.
Specific, measurable,
Right.
attainable,
Yeah.
realistic, time bound.
So let's put a date to it so we make you accountable.
You want to hold me accountable?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll give you keys to this place. You can use this place.
I already got keys to this place.
Okay. I already gave you keys to this place.
This is great.
All right.
Works out well.
Yeah.
What do you think's realistic? I'm shooting for June, but would you say
can
early June or mid-June?
You can literally start next week. You just start. Like, we're still kind of in the beginning stages of this podcast. I feel like there's a lot more we can do as far as the video part's just another element. But I feel like, the more you kind of put off like, oh, I'll start running like next week. That's when you're like, fuck it, I'm eating a whole pizza and I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to watch Amazon on my Vizio TV, basically. Like, just starting a lot of stuff is kind of, you just have to do that. And then it won't matter because you won't really have an audience to push out to anyway.
Sure.
Because it's not like any of us are celebrities. So it's just kind of your friends. And your friends, you'd be surprised. My friends are dicks, but your friends seem really nice from what I can tell online.
Right.
I feel like they gravitate towards you doing something like this on your own. My friends are like, your fucking show sucks, bro. Fuck you. And I'm like, well, I got the wedding pictures back.
Very
all
endearing.
the groomsmen were all in it. Here you go.
They paid their dues.
I mean, yeah, they had to hang out with me, I guess. I don't know, but I'm saying, like, just start, and then everything will kind of fall into place because you'll figure it out. It's that social inertia that you, like, I was just telling Hector about this. I did stand-up last night. I haven't been up in, like, 2 months, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And then you get, like, into this corner where you're like, I got to figure it out. And so, like, that.
Sort of box yourself in.
Yeah, but it's fight or flight, and you know you're going to figure it out. And when you start putting a date to it, all right, on June 5th, that's a Monday, that's doable for you. June 5th, I'll do the first podcast. Then you'll start thinking about it beforehand. You'll have like shower thoughts.
Right.
You'll be like, oh, this might be good. This might be good. And then it gets easier. Like a gay kid in high school, it gets easier, right? It's my new metaphor.
That's my new metaphor.
So like, I got Hector and Damien to start their own podcast called The Rap Party, which is Thursdays. You're trying to do like a standard time.
Right, at this Friday at 8 o'clock.
Friday, 8 o'clock, but you're doing it tonight.
Right, because it's
Oh,
pre-recorded.
okay. We're going to... So it's live on tape.
It's
as they
live
used
on
to say.
tape, but we also do the Mevo tonight.
So I like that better.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to talk about it because like you can kind of give the hardcore fans the ability to watch it live,
Mm-hmm.
and then anything you edit around to make it clean, and then promote it for a Friday night. It's kind of to the masses, to the fair weather fair weather fans. Am I having a stroke? So what's the rap party about? You got to have like a thesis. What's it about?
It's about independent films,
Mm-hmm.
how to create it, how to be involved, how to distribute it. People in the industry come and talk about it, and I guess we all just have a good time. It's pretty much like what happens after the movie's made.
So what happens after the movie's made?
You get drunk and you talk about the job.
Is that because like for comedians, the best part about doing stand-up
Mm-hmm.
is partly like the 2 a.m. pizza, beer, and like just talking shit or talking about the show or something like that.
Right, that's
Is that
pretty
like
much
the
it.
same thing?
Yes, exactly. It's
You're kind of
exactly the same
venting,
thing.
but you're kind of pumped. You can't go to sleep,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it's the same thing. And then we also try to help out inspiring people who are trying to do independent movies.
So what's like practical advice? You know, is it just pick up and shoot?
I
Kinda
think it's pretty
thing?
much what you're saying about the podcast. You know, is if you're trying to do it, that's a piece of advice right there. That where if you're trying to
Like talk into the mic?
Yeah, talking to the mic. See, the problem is that over there we don't really have to talk in the mic because everything.
Because you got an Omni mic.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You got
So-
good, nice golden mics. They literally have golden mics. It looks
So-
like MC Hammer set up their mic system from the 90s.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's hilarious.
They got the Midas touch over
Yeah,
there.
no, but we try to help out people that if they have any questions, we'll read their scripts, and we're also developing a site where they can actually showcase their work.
Some genius is going to have to make that website, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
This guy.
He's got to be very girthy.
Oh,
Just used it.
girthy. That's the word of the
I
day.
thought
of
we
the year.
escaped that word.
No,
No.
no way. That's my New Year's resolution, man. To say girthy more. To say actually, that's not a good goal. To say girthy at least 30 times a month.
Specific.
Yeah.
At
Mhm.
least once a day.
Right. I'll miss a couple of days. I'll be flaccid a couple of days, but I will say girthy more often than not. So if you are watching on Facebook Live, I see some people starting to like the video that we post out there. You guys feel free to share it as you're sitting here. Feel free to throw some questions out there if we catch them while we're talking towards, we're probably talking another 30 minutes or so. So independent movies, why that? Why now? Like, do you feel like we've hit a saturation point with a lot of this independent stuff, or are we not even close to hitting that yet?
We don't think there's many voices out there for independent people who trying to do independent movies. Usually it's all about, if people usually talk about everything that's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of voices out there to talk about independent movies. And then people who are trying to make movies start out independent. So they don't have people who are in the industry who are able to help them a platform.
Yeah. And y'all got into it by just working your balls off
Yes.
since you're like high school, right?
Right. Pretty much, because back then people really didn't talk about trying to do movies. If trying to be an engineer, a scientist, a doctor, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you went to the USF, didn't really have a good program for it neither at the time.
University of South Florida. We
Yes.
have people outside the area, so I
Okay,
got
yeah.
I got to specify sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I see a need. So going back to Dan doing a podcast, like find a need. Business 101 essentially. Find a need, find something of value that you can help out with, and try to be helpful with it. I think the goal of the show is not really for y'all to make money necessarily.
Correct, because you probably won't.
Yeah. Well, we got to get to about 20,000 viewers. I heard the advertising or
That's the threshold.
that's the threshold, listens and views all together, and then we can get someone like Squarespace. Hello, I make about 100 sites on Squarespace, so why don't you hook me up just with a promo code, Dick Faces? Just do it. Wait, I didn't mean to say that. No, but I'm saying like you gotta do shit for free like this to get paid, right? And it's just like doing your own independent movies.
Mm-hmm.
But you all find that there is a lack of like legit advice in y'all's industry for kids, right?
Correct.
So I feel like that's the angle. I felt like this podcast was good because there wasn't really a realistic, do-it-yourself or business podcast out there. It was a lot of like overarching tropes or like a Harvard Business Review or Tim Ferriss or something like that.
It's real rigid.
Yeah. And I feel like I want the stuff where like people are like, yeah, I went on Instagram, I would hashtag stuff that only had about 100,000 posts or under, and that's how I built my my account. That's a little tip for you guys.
Is that a secret?
Yeah.
I gotta try that out.
That's one way to kind of grow your account is really try to find hashtags that are applicable to you, but are not like in the millions because they just get it doesn't have as much meaning.
It gets lost.
Right. So if you hashtag, indie raps, which is kind of the brand for the rap party.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually you have that, but also like indie movies, indie party, whatever it is. Maybe libertarians, because libertarians probably get on top of this independent movie stuff. I mean, seriously, anything that is not the man, Libertarian Party like gets a boner for it. So I get
You're like trying to find referral sources here.
But I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you're trying to connect with people with hashtags, essentially. The hashtags on Instagram and but you don't do them on Facebook. People who do them on Facebook, not so good. Not yet. But Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, that kind of thing.
Is there such thing as too much hashtags on your picture?
Yeah. Oh,
There
yeah,
is?
bro. Oh, yeah.
What's the limit?
I don't know. You can tell when you post. Someone showed this to me. You know how you can post on Instagram, and then it'll flop over to Facebook when you automatically do it.
Yeah.
You can see on Facebook it'll stop making a hyperlink in blue for it, so it'll stop after like 13 or something like that. So it changes all the time. That's why I don't want to like give a hard number. I think my phone's dying on you, but I don't want to give like a hard number, but it's something you just always have to be curious about. So what you got, Dan?
Like a Google algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm, man. That's what it's about. Math and shit. Pythagorean theorem. All right. So what we've been trying to do is figure out, kind of all three of us, with our respective businesses, is how to do, and this is kind of what I was we're trying to figure out, what are we going to talk about today? And it's basically about how do you do video and kind of get it out there in today's day and age on a cost-effective budget. And Dan's been a part of it. We've talked about it on previous episodes, but since no one listened to that one, maybe. Dan's blowing up. I've been working with the 208 Monkeys guys. How do we figure out how to get video, inexpensive to produce, and then how do we get it out there in a cost-effective way for people? And it kind of dovetails from what we were talking about with your podcast. How do we get the podcast out there? And I think video is going to be important. This ability to use this Mevo camera where it cuts automatically. There's no producer if you're watching it on our Facebook page right now, the Sweat Equity Facebook page. I think that's like a great hack for when you're doing live stuff like this. Well, I guess question is, how do we go about this? What do y'all see as far as like on your feed or in your life? What do you see more of video ad wise, I guess?
I mean, for me, that's definitely the direction that a lot of businesses are heading to. So for us, that was whenever we started with you guys or partnered with you guys, that was one of our goals, was to try to differentiate ourselves, because we were doing some Facebook ads and using just a outside vendor and just pushing them out just like everybody else does. But obviously that becomes white noise after a while. Lucky for us, we did have some pretty recognizable brand power, and we wanted to leverage that, and we thought, what better way to do that than actually create some videos that would, we could have fun with the brand, we could get it out to the people, and then we'd also be able to track it in a way that lets us know what's our real ROI on this thing. How many people are we actually reaching versus just sharing something on your own page or the business's personal page, and it's just kind of that's like
Yeah.
more white noise.
And we talked about, I was talking with my buddy Robbie Slowick. He's a comedian buddy of mine. I was talking with him last night. He was working on Jon Stewart's new show that was for HBO. And we were talking about it last night, kind of about this, maybe he can come on as a liaison for some things in the future. And we were talking about it. I was like, yeah, I want to do campaigns that are funny, because what gets shared the most is either the really emotional stuff, which is really hard to kind of capture if you're not a news organization. Like Mike on the mic or whatever. Mike, I think the page is called just Mike, right? Or Open Mic or something like that. They do a lot of like emotional stuff. It's like, this was a dog, this was a puppy in a war-torn country.
I mean, dogs in general get
Right,
shared more than
and
anything.
it'll tell the story of that dog. It's like this boxer made it through Syria, and you're like, oh my God. And you'll look at it, it has like 40 million views or something like that. I feel like what you can control is like trying to make it funny. We've been talking about the campaign for the Professional. I think that's got legs for College Hunks, because it's one of those things where, hey, it shows that we're serious, but at the same time, it's funny, and that's the stuff.
It's like a mullet.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a mullet. Yeah, but I mean, like your old school way of thinking of creative, I think, is kind of. I think people have to start pivoting towards, oh, you're going to see results on how something does for a campaign in real time like that. And you're going to have to do kind of a bunch of different scattershot of ideas. And then whatever works, we'll let it ride. But if it's dying, if people aren't engaging with it, you can just cut it off. And it basically didn't exist in a lot of ways. Unless you're a huge brand that organically,
Right.
You got your DMX. And DMX has got a huge page. If he throws a video up, it'll organically get a lot of views. But for the small business owner, when you put something on your Facebook page, 10% of the people that like your page probably see it. And so the more engagement, the more people around that circle, around that core, that ripple effect goes out. People don't get that. I feel like you got to be curious on the stats and everything. But we talked about, Dan and I want to do some funny stuff because we know, hey, man, my white thighs, they're great on screen. They're
With green shorts.
with green shorts.
Green shorts.
But dad bod all over the place. And Dan, little coconut oiled up with those guns, moving boxes and whatnot, playing against each other. I think that has the potential to go viral, because I can always be the Mark character where he can be the professional. He can make fun of what I'm doing.
You can also another big advantage with video is Google loves video.
Yeah.
And so you put those on your website. We put them personally on our location page on the College Hunks website, and we moved up, a few spots organically on Google search. So definitely helped our SEO.
They want you to make a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've really messed around with that lately, it's kind of crazy. Like they are really putting a lot of emphasis on video, Facebook, just like we were talking about with Apple and Amazon kind of competing with each other for TV. YouTube and Facebook are trying to go neck and neck for video.
Facebook, rumor has it, they're actually trying to be the next Amazon and Netflix and stuff with video.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where I tell people about Pinterest, because guys, we don't know.
Dude, I love Pinterest.
You love
But
Pinterest.
I love Pinterest.
European men and American women, Pinterest. I love it only because I know it works. Right. I wish I had like a lifestyle brand, like an HSN kind of brand, where I could just get it out there and push it and promote it, like jewelry, dresses.
Well,
for
how about
models.
College Hunks could do well on Pinterest, because it's about like, hey, I'm about to move. What's an easy way to package this stuff?
We started pushing on Pinterest.
Interested.
We started pushing on Pinterest.
I'm interested in this
Pinterest. You said it would be
Pinterest.
smart. If you're already going to share on Facebook and Instagram, you might as well push out to Pinterest.
Yeah, you might as well ping it. If you're already doing a social media campaign, yeah, it's better to have a different strategy for each one. Mm-hmm. Like LinkedIn should only be business to business. Pinterest should only be lifestyle. Instagram only if you've got a good video that's under 20 or under 30 seconds, or
more creative,
or just a good picture. You get incentivized. I don't know how that is done visually, but it's better engagement in that kind of way. So I just think Pinterest, women make most of the decisions, man.
Yeah.
Whether we want to agree with that as dudes or not, women control a lot of the household decisions, whether they put the credit card down to pay it or not. I know that kind of sounds sexist, but like they are controlling the household purchase or whatever. Like, oh, most dudes can't just get this car. You got to go through the wife to go, is that cool if I get this car?
You can get the car, but you're going to return it. This is going to happen.
Right. And so it's like, you have kids.
Yep.
Most of the stuff you're going to buy for your kids, it's not usually going through you. You're not really having the total autonomy in like what you're buying, nor do you really care.
Right. I try to believe it's me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, I made that happen. But in reality, I always say, hey, I'm about to buy this. Is that okay?
So if you build up trust on Pinterest and you build up that brand loyalty, which I think a lot of women have a lot of bad experiences with moving.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more women for us. We should be focusing on a little bit more. I talk shit on this podcast to talk shit to myself a lot of the time. Like, we should be focusing on a lot more because a lot more women are in the marketing director position. There's a lot more women CEOs coming up, even though the number, I know someone will go like, man, there's only like one woman CEO for every like 500 men CEOs. Yeah, but it's growing.
Yeah,
so
women are breaking into the industries like crazy, and they're what they weren't able to have in the past. They're now just eating it up in the future, and they are going to be the future.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to kiss up to women, but it's just fact.
Hey, it's hard being a straight white male these days. All right, here's the other thing we were talking about off air before we started is, we've been working a lot with ideas with industries that previously don't know how to use video, right? So I've been working with a lot of like dental orthodontists, and you're kind of like, ugh, I don't want to see any of that. Well, we can do a different way. We can figure out a different way to do it. I think the automotive industry is really behind. I really think like we've got a buddy of ours down the street that has a custom work repair shop. I'm like, dude, you don't even know, your whole industry is so behind that just getting video of what you're doing and you're doing it honestly and you're transparent about how good you are and the work you do, it's going to build up this brand loyalty and honesty in a sector that, man, no one really you have your car guy, right? But eventually most people just don't have anybody. So I'm like, that sector right there, as well as selling cars, they're so far behind. If I see another bad car commercial, I'm going to lose my shit. Thank God I got rid of cable.
Well, even a lot of business owners now, it's crazy to see just the lack of online presence in general.
Yeah.
You know, to where so many business owners still rely on just word of mouth and just basic signage or still doing print advertising and things like that, to where, you know, they hear about an idea like video. Okay, if you're going to do it, let's make sure you do it right.
Well, they're like, could I just get my cell phone and just put it up? I'll just do selfie video. And you're like, cool. Like, what is that? Who cares? You know, unless you're Vin Diesel, the Dees.
Most of us are not.
You're right. I'm pretty sure most of us are not Vin Diesel.
I would think so.
Or The Rock. We're not either of them most of the time.
Or Kevin Hart.
Because
he just, whatever he puts out there, it seems like it sticks.
I feel like people think they can film their own commercial. I mean, how many commercial, ads or commercial have y'all done, and people think they can do the creative?
Hundreds.
So what?
That's the problem. But people try to think that they're creative, and then that's not what they do for a living. So they try to either get them or their cousins to do it, and it always comes out. It always comes out horrible. And then they base the results of what they're getting off what they shot. I'm like, it has nothing to do with the, the steps of trying to get it there. It's about how you shot it. It wasn't creative. And then dude, I can go all day. This
No,
is like
keep
whole
going.
topic.
No, go.
Yeah.
I'll
And then on top of
Arsenio
that,
this.
then they think that they could just pay $5, put it on Facebook. You know, hey, I'm gonna pay $5 because Facebook says that it's gonna reach 1,000 people, and then it totally flops and hits them in the face. And then they're like, oh, see, this doesn't really work.
But yeah, so they don't know because they don't track leads. You don't
Right.
track conversions, right? So if you're a lead generating business, if you're a law firm, right? We're working with a lot of law firms. The way you do it is if you're doing video, first off, you got to be a little bit different. You can't do these things. Well, I'm going to sit down and tell you about tort law and fucking zoned out. Everybody's out. So you gotta figure out something that's going to grab people's attention.
You got to make it not about law.
Right, pretty much. I like stats. Like I think stats can be fun, like an infographic kind of video. I think those are always easy, kind of creative. But it can't just be one shot of someone sitting in a room, in a Glamour Shots room, like just telling you about the law. It's got to be like, hey, if you hire a lawyer, you're 23% better to not get convicted. A private attorney over the public attorney. I think that's interesting information. That's something I'd want to see. You know, like, all right, cool. But you still need to track that whole scenario. So from video to the site to them contacting or calling, how'd you hear about us? Most people don't keep those leads, right?
Right.
Most people don't keep that lead data. How'd you hear about us?
You got to source properly, and that's one of the hardest things with our business is sourcing correctly. You know?
Yeah, how reliable is that data?
That's what I'm saying.
So there's a confidence rate with everything. How confident do you feel when you're getting this data? So sometimes it's like, how are you asking the question sometimes? Because I think, to me, I used to ask this way. I used to go, oh, did you see us on Facebook or like an ad?
You can't give them the answer.
Sometimes you can. So sometimes they go, oh, I don't know. You know, I had a friend tell me about it. And you go, oh, okay. Did you hear about us any other way? Craigslist, Facebook? I do it real quick. So if any of those triggers, I do it like a Heisman voting system. So it's like, all right, 1 was word of mouth, but 2 might have been Craigslist, 3 might have been Facebook, 4 could have been Instagram, and try to do it that way. I don't know if that helps y'all. I mean, you guys.
We do so much volume that it's, that.
And you get people on the worst day of their life.
About to be the worst day of their life.
Yeah, moving's the worst.
But I think statistically, what is it like? You got to see a brand or something like that 7 times before you actually pull the trigger and pick up the phone. So it could have been the last one, but we know that they could have seen our trucks. They could have heard from a friend that it was a good experience. They could have saw us online. They could have saw us on Facebook. Could have been everything. So figuring out the true acquisition cost is damn near impossible.
It's tough, but you can still get in a ballpark.
We know it's a range.
Right,
It's
but
$10-$20.
People give up right there,
filtration.
though. That line where they go, it's fucking impossible. Screw this. Like, they just don't even start. Like, I know ours is really high because our stuff's really hard to explain how we go holistically on that. Because I want to know the whole marketing scheme, right? I want to know what you're doing offline so that's not totally different online, right? And it
Gotta
might
gel.
It's going to see 7 to 13 times, I think, is the range. You're going to see, for y'all, let's just use College Hunks as an example. Drive by your building, 1. 2, I see the street signs. 3, I might see a Google ad. 4, I might see on this podcast. 5, I might see you in person somewhere winning a Best of the Tampa Bay award, whatever that may be. What award did you win recently?
Huh?
What award did y'all win?
Oh, we were finalists. It wasn't, yeah.
You could have just lied, but yeah.
I'm not going to do that. 'Cause I don't want to get called out.
I saw you at a Chamber of Commerce meeting. That's 6. I saw an email because I'm on an email list because I was already moved with them before. That's 7. So it's like all those things can convert a previous client again or convert a new client if you have somewhere kind of sharing that out. So I've kind of been babbling a lot. Anything y'all have got on this podcast, on this sweet podcast.
I mean, just listen to what you guys saying. I mean, I'm learning a lot from the web aspect. I'd like to ask Dan, like, do you feel that the online presence is better than like your signage on the streets?
So online versus offline?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of our strongest, marketing efforts is the is the stuff that you can track directly, with whether it's PPC or Facebook or anything like that.
Pay per
So
click for those uninitiated. I feel like I have I have to say it. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't mean to correct you or
Yeah,
something like that,
I mean, we wouldn't be anything without the other. So if we go a while without putting out yard signs or something like that, like we feel it, But the same thing, if we're not running any campaigns on Facebook or if we're not being proactive with our data, on Google, things like that, we'll definitely feel it as well. So they go hand in hand, and he'll tell you that all day long.
Online reviews
they
too.
need the sync. Online reviews too.
It's
yeah.
way bigger now.
Which we've been pushing that huge with our team. As soon as they're done with the customer, send them the link directly.
Try and catch them in the best mood.
Catch them in the mood. Yeah.
We
just took care of all your stress. Please review us right now.
I'll give you free pizza. Please do that. Yeah. And so the online reviews thing, I'm so glad we partnered with Bird Eye. If you go to birdeye.com, you can look at what they do. You can get them directly if you want, but you can get them through us at a cheaper rate because we're an agency through them, an agency partner. So if I get a bad review, I can park it through them because they're like a super agency. So they can talk to Google directly and go, hey, we got to wax this out. So that's advantageous. If you're below 4.4 on review sites, just generally, you're like non-existent almost.
Forget it.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why it matters, because consumer reviews are becoming like such a big part, and it's used for evil too. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff people write on their page, and it'll be for the wrong franchise or wrong territory, I should say. So some people just write reviews and they don't even know they're so mad they don't even really look up if it's the right company.
Okay, right brand.
You hate this Domino's in downtown, but you had the Domino's from the sticks, but you wrote a bad review for the wrong one.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
So all that stuff kind of matters, and you have to pay attention to it like crazy now. So, law firm. I have like 18 thoughts going at once, and it just goes into mouth diarrhea. But lawyers hate it. I love hanging out with the lawyers because I like arguing with them. But they have to be on Avo. They have to be. They'll be listed. Someone will put them on Avo, either Avo itself or someone else. So that's kind of dirty because they're public. They have to publicly be listed through the Florida bar or any bar or state out there. And so it's so they just you should hear some of the conversations fucking God damn it, I hate Avo. They just hate it, but it's a necessary evil for most businesses.
For people who don't know what Avo is, what is that?
That's where you can look up. You can search for lawyers in your area. You can ask questions. Really, it's kind of a fucked up system because they basically find every lawyer and they put them on there, and then they pump so much money into SEO and PPC. So if you are looking up a lawyer, they box you out on pay-per-click ads with the other big attorney's office in the area. So every ad has a dollar amount. DUI lawyer, it's $69 here. If you're in Miami or LA, it's probably $113 to $200 per click.
Wow.
It can be. If you're just straight
per
up
click, not even per inquiry.
Not per conversion.
Jeez.
Well, because when you get that client, that's, what do they say? A DUI is about $10,000 probably. I only read that on the urinal signs at the bars.
I think it's $10,000.
Something like that. And so half of that's going to the house, right? So let's say you get a DUI client, it's probably $5,000. You're giving to a lawyer.
At least.
No matter what the outcome. So it's one of those things where it just kind of, the math makes sense. If you get their close rate though, as a lawyer, once you click to find someone, people don't shop around for attorneys, which is funny to me. I mean, why? You're just they're an attorney.
Yep.
They're probably good.
Sounds good.
Right. My friend told me about them. So their close rate's 95% a lot of the time. They're not really bidding against anybody else.
That's worth it.
Right. So let's say you have 5 people click on your site, 4 of them or 5 of them click to call or something like that. 3 of them convert. You just paid back everything you just spent.
Right. Even if one.
And then some. Yeah.
But you got to have a bankroll to do it. to start it. That's why the little guys can't really do it yet. So you gotta find other ways. But anyway, I think we gotta close it out because it's top of the hour. It's top of the hour. I don't know why I did it radio style, but I've got some other business to take care of. So you guys, anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, thank you for having us on.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Always. Peace.